Good morning, everyone. It's time to get started. My name's Glenn Hendricks. I'm the mayor of Sunnyvale. I'm very glad to be joined today by members of Girl Scout Troop 60418 from Cherry Chase Elementary. In addition to their STEM studies and leadership building activities, the juniors, brownies, and daisies in this troop support our community by raising money for the Magical Bridge Playground and Sunnyvale Community Services. At this time, I'd like to invite them up to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hi, my name is Sophie, and please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's give them all a big round of applause for coming up and doing that. Before I get started with my comments, I want to recognize a few of the distinguished visitors that are here in attendance with us. We have Superintendent of the School District, Dr. Benjamin Picard. The Sunnyvale Chamber of Commerce, Don Eagleston. City Manager, Kent Steffens. Assistant City Manager, Terry Silva. Public Safety Chief, Fawn No. Director of Library and Community Services, Cynthia Bajorquez. And you can give her a really long applause because she's the one who coordinated all of this. Our Director of IT, Kathleen Boot Foster. Director of Human Resources, Tina Murphy. Director of Public Works, Chip Taylor. Our Director of Nova Workforces, Chris Stedelman. And Director of Environmental Services, Romana Chinakgoa. We have some former council members here today as well. We have former Mayor Melinda Hamilton. Former Mayor Tony Spitaleri, former council member Chris Moylan, former Mayor Pat Vortier, former council member Tara Martin-Milius, and then here for this one, you all know what you're going to have to do. We have former Mayor Larry Stone and thank you for getting that correct. I also want to go ahead and recognize the other people that are up here on the stage with me. We have Vice Mayor Larry Klein, Councilmember Jim Griffith, Councilmember Larson, Councilmember Melton, and Councilmember Smith. And Councilmember Golden was not able to make it today. He had a prior conflict. So hopefully I think I've caught all of our elected officials, and if there's anybody I missed, please stand up and raise your hand now. All right, thank you to the staff for getting everybody's name. Nancy Newkirk from the Sunnyvale School District, sorry. Okay, I'm going to jump right in. We're all here to hear the awards that are going to be given out here in a little while, but we're going to start with a state of the city, an opportunity for me on behalf of the council to kind of talk about some really great and wonderful things that are going on in the city of Sunnyvale. So welcome everyone, and thank you for being here. I've always thought the most important question a mayor can answer is, what is your city government doing for you? Well, I consider myself incredibly fortunate to be here today representing my council member colleagues and city staff who are achieving some truly amazing things for Sunnyvale. And not because we wish them to be so, not because we got lucky, but because we set ambitious and strategic goals and put plans in place to achieve them. because we take the time to listen and truly understand all perspectives before acting, and because we strive to find the most creative and innovative solutions possible. Let's start with one of the biggest concerns facing not just our city, but the entire planet, which is climate change. In 2016, along with 11 other communities, we formed the Silicon Valley Clean Energy, our new community choice energy program. And simply put, that was the single most impactful step in our climate action plan to reduce carbon emissions. And I want to stop here a second. I want to recognize former Mayor Jim Griffith. Jim is the one that carried a huge amount of the work, not only within the city of Sunnyvale, but within the city's association to make this happen. And I think we should all give him a huge round of applause. Now, a little more than a year later, we are seeing its tremendous impacts thanks to resounding community support. And we're sourcing far cleaner power, dramatically reducing our emissions, and achieving millions in annual cost savings for our customers. But there's more. Just this summer, we announced that Sunnyvale has already exceeded the state's 2020 targets for reducing greenhouse gas emissions, even with population and job growth. This huge accomplishment is due to a combination of state regulations and city and community actions, and your real participation. And while this is certainly a fantastic achievement, we know we can't stop there, and achieving the next round of targets is going to be harder. So that's when we turn to you, our community, to draw on your ingenuity and reflect your diverse needs. Through multiple in-person and online forums, you generated more than 100 ideas that we're now shaping into a new plan called the Climate Action Plan 2.0, CAP 2.0. There will be many more opportunities for input before the City Council considers the plan next year, and we've already seen fantastic participation so far, and I sincerely hope it continues as this important work moves forward. As you know, the availability of affordable housing is yet another significant challenge facing local governments and our community today. And I am proud to say that Sunnyvale continues to be a leader in this area. One of the biggest influences the city has is through our general plan and zoning policies. These ensure we enable a diverse mix of housing to be built, particularly near public transit and employment areas. To that end, we're in the process of studying the potential for additional housing in several of our major planning districts, including along El Camino Real, near Lawrence Station, in the downtown here, and possibly even within Moffett Park. And all of these studies will include an evaluation of adequate infrastructure and services. Beyond studies, we're actively partnering with others to build and preserve affordable housing. In fact, 10% of all new housing constructed this fiscal year is reserved for moderate to low or very low income housing. We've also continued to allocate our federal grant and local housing mitigation funds, which Sunnyvale has had in place for decades, by the way, to help rehabilitate affordable housing locations for low-income families, seniors, and special needs tenants. Work has been completed at Life's Garden, Crescent Terrace Apartments. It's nearly complete at Stony Pine, and 8 Trees is scheduled for later this year. New projects are also coming to fruition. Last year, the City Council voted to negotiate an agreement with related companies to build a 90-unit affordable housing development on city-owned property at Charles, Iowa, and Matilda, specifically for low-income and developmentally disabled renters. City staff and related companies have been working on that agreement, and it's planned for the City Council to consider later this year. And this fall, tenants of the new Edwina Benner Plaza, a 100% affordable apartment development on Persian Drive, will be moving in. Built by nonprofit Mid-Penn Housing and supported by $8 million in local housing mitigation and federal grant funds, this 66-unit development is giving lower income and formerly homeless people, families, and veterans a stable, long-term home on their own. And Larry, you can't answer this. Yes. And do you know why it's named after Edwina Benner, or who she was? Edwina Benner was the first mayor of Sunnyvale. And not only was she the first mayor, she was the first female mayor of Sunnyvale, and she was the first female mayor in the state of California. So So Sunnyvale has been accomplishing first and being innovative for a long time. Aside from housing, one of the biggest local concerns is traffic. There is no doubt we are experiencing more traffic as a result of a booming regional economy. And your city government is continually working to improve the quality, efficiency, and safety of our roadways. We just completed converting the entire city to smart LED streetlights that gradually dim as activity on the streets decreases. This not only improves light quality, it also reduces our energy consumption by up to 80% and saves in long-term maintenance costs. We're also leveraging $2.5 million in state and local transportation grants to install and expand a state-of-the-art traffic signal management system on all city corridors. This has improved the flow of traffic and reduced travel times by 30 to almost 60% depending on the location. And starting with intersections on El Camino, we are getting ready to install the latest adaptive signal technology. Signals will automatically adjust timing to match the speed of pedestrians instead of defaulting to the longest crossing time. This means people will save enough time to cross safely and drivers won't wait unnecessarily, potentially reducing vehicle wait times by up to 30% and improving safety. In addition to using the latest technology, we are investing in our roadway infrastructure. As of last year, we have more than doubled our miles of bike lanes in the city over the last decade, most recently adding lanes to 2.8-mile segment of Mary Avenue between Fremont and Maud. We also realized the benefits of the SB1 Road Repair Act by using almost $900,000 in funding to repave segments of Caribbean Drive, Matilda, and Bernardo Avenues. And going forward, we are planning to use another $5.3 million in funding annually from SB1 and Measure B for additional street maintenance and rehabilitation. And finally, for our number one transportation priority, reconstructing the Matilda 101-237 interchange. We just secured $17 million in SB1 grant funds to keep this project moving forward, which was in jeopardy because of the Measure B litigation. Now, thanks to this new funding solution, this fully designed project is back on track with construction scheduled to begin this December and be completed by November of 2019. So it's a really great cycle to work on. Of course, getting people to their destinations safely, whether they're walking, biking, driving, or taking transit, is our primary concern. The good news is that since 2012, Sunnyvale's collision rate has declined by 37%. But we believe that accidents are preventable, which is why we're joining cities worldwide to develop a Vision Zero plan that aims towards eliminating traffic fatalities and serious injuries. That's our traffic people right there. Here again, we asked and listened to the community to help identify priority locations where safety is a concern. We are now moving quickly to develop our Vision Zero plan with strategies to address these locations that will be considered by the City Council later this year. Safety on our roads contributes to the overall safety of our community, and we are very fortunate to be ranked as the safest city in America for the third year in a row. We believe this is a direct result of our community's positive relationship with our Department of Public Safety, which we earned through shared experiences and opportunities to connect. And I want to stop here. You'll notice all around there's a lot of these gentlemen and women in the blue uniform. Go up to them today after this event and say hello to them, shake their hand, and tell them what a good job that they're doing. So we were talking about opportunities to connect. For example, Public Safety Chief Fawn No has started meeting with residents this year through a new program called Walk with the Chief. These informal gatherings at our local parks are terrific opportunities for the chief to not only get to know your neighborhoods, but to also hear firsthand what's on your mind and how public safety can help. Also new this year is a Citizens Academy starting this fall, where participants will get a behind-the-scenes introduction to public safety and learn how our unique integrated public safety model serves the community. And speaking of academies, we just completed the second year of the Public Safety Youth Leadership Academy, where another 25 Sunnyvale youth have graduated with skills ranging from leadership and team building to fitness, nutrition, and digital safety. It is truly amazing to see these remarkable young leaders challenge themselves to push out of their comfort zones and gain the confidence necessary to go after their goals. This passion for learning and partnership with our community to ensure our youth succeed are also central themes for our work to build the Lakewood Branch Library and Learning Center. Originally intended as a branch library only, we are now partnering with both the Sunnyvale School District and the Fremont Union High School District to expand that vision and better meet the community's needs. Not only is this proposed to be a larger joint use library, but also a shared facility for community meetings, family-focused recreation, technology training, and lifelong learning. There are still many details to work through with the partners in the community, but the pieces are coming together through a lot of creative thinking and hard work. Another important project underway is the modernization of our aging Civic Center. We've made significant progress, and you can get a preview of the proposed campus by viewing a scale model at the Civic Center information booth today, which is just right over here. Just this past fall, the City Council took another major step by approving the design concept for the project and setting the stage for the environmental review. And later this month, the Council will consider the Environment Impact Report and overall master plan for the 26-acre campus. This plan re-envisions the property as a central community gathering space with improved access to city services, shared meeting rooms, and facilities for community use, and far more usable open space. And while we're on the subject of open space, we've continued to implement the City Parks Master Plan, which is our roadmap to invest $200 million to enhance every park in the city within 20 years. Much has already been accomplished, but in just the last year alone, we've installed new playground equipment at Orchards Gardens, Braley, and Fairwoods Parks. We've renovated park buildings at Washington, De Anza, Fair Oaks, and Raynor Parks, and we have major renovations in the works for Fair Oaks Park and Washington Pool. And we're also adding features to the system. The skate park at Fair Oaks Park now has newly installed LED lights allowing for night skating until 10 p.m. And last year I spoke to you about Girl Scout Esther Lucas, who brought us the idea of the Magical Bridge Playground to serve everyone in our community, but especially those with disabilities. We have moved even closer to realizing that goal through contributions from the county and the city and generous donations from our business and residents. At the latest count, Magical Bridge is only $150,000 away from having this all-inclusive equipment to be part of the Fair Oaks Park renovations. But perhaps best of all, we're adding new parks to the system. On the heels of adding 7 Seas and Swaggles parks, we're about to open Weiser Park, named for longtime city arborist Lauren Weiser. This brings us to more than 7 acres of new parks in the last 5 years, with more potentially on the horizon as we continue to work with several property owners to acquire new parkland through the development process. Keep your hands ready. Finally, I want to close by acknowledging our fabulous location here today, our Sunnyvale Downtown. Many of you have already frequented downtown for the wonderful mix of entertainment, restaurants, and services that make it such a vibrant destination. But we also know that some of you have steered away because of difficulties and disappointment with the former, I repeat, former Town Center project. But I am here to say, come back down to downtown and keep coming back. This is where you want to be. This is the vibrant hub of the city of Sunnyvale. I'm sure you can see by the remarkable progress here of the City Line Sunnyvale project, and there's more to come. For example, in November, City Line reopened the Redwood Square with improvements that offer shade, benches, and a large grassy area. And this May, we celebrated the opening of the Murphy Avenue extension right here that we're adjacent to. This improves the circulation, adds pedestrian walkways and parking, and connects the historic Murphy Avenue to McKinley Avenue. And by next year, a new building at this intersection, if you go ahead and look behind you, I'm talking about that one right there, will open with a Whole Foods market and an AMC theater totaling more than 100,000 square feet. This is the movie theater you've wanted in downtown to be back for a long time. Both of these are going to further the downtown district and help attract additional retail and restaurant tenants. Klein will also open their leasing office this month for the first 198 completed homes for this project called The Flats, and you can see it at that building right over there. Located on the 3 buildings along Washington and McKinley Avenue, 25 of these residences will be reserved for lower income households by agreement with the city. Cityline is also constructing $20 million in public improvements by adding landscaping and street trees, installing new traffic signals, and constructing landscape medians. I want to personally thank everyone involved for their energy, patience, and hard work that has gotten us where we are today. And this is especially true for our existing downtown merchants, many of whom who have been here for decades in serving you, our community. With your continued support, I have every confidence that we will realize the full potential of our downtown. So please come back and keep shopping and dining in our downtown area. Finally, all the examples I've spoken about today demonstrate the power of persistence, the results of hard work, and the reward of setting and achieving ambitious goals. One of our Public Safety Youth Leadership Academy graduates this year said it best, and I quote, "I learned that your size doesn't matter, but confidence does." Sunnyvale may not be the biggest city, it's just the best. But when you consider what we've set out to achieve and what we've accomplished, we're having a tremendous impact, locally, regionally, and even globally. And I think we can all be very proud. I hope you'll join me today in celebrating these accomplishments and looking forward to another successful year ahead. So thank you all very much for coming down. So thank you. I know you're hoping to get to them instead of hearing me. We're going to get to the awards. Now let's move on to a special part of today's program, the Community Awards presentation. And I'd like to invite this year's recipients to come up and take a seat here on the stage. And you can either come around, there's steps over here, or if you want the ramp, you could walk all the way around. But if I could ask all of you to come step up, please. You can clap them now, but you're going to have an opportunity to clap for them in a minute. Here's one more chair. Oh, sure. Thank you. So recognizing and honoring the people who make our community a special place has been a Sunnyvale tradition for almost 40 years now. We began this tradition in 1981 with just a single category, the Distinguished Resident. And over the years, we've added new awards that allow us to recognize people, organization, and businesses from many facets of our community. I know I speak for my fellow council members when I say that it's truly an honor to be able to give these awards to the winners. But fortunately for us, we don't have the challenge of selecting them. That tough task falls to a committee of previous community award winners who recommend their choices for this year's recipients from so many wonderful nominations. So first, I'd like to thank the committee for their excellent work, as well as acknowledge everyone who's been nominated. I'd also like to encourage you to nominate people for future awards. I'm sure we all know someone who is making a difference in our city through their time, talents, and commitments. And it is important that we take the time to recognize their achievements. After the last presentation of these awards, I'll return and I'm going to announce the Mayor's Award of Excellence. But with that, let me first introduce Vice Mayor Larry Klein, who will make the first presentation.
Thank you very much. Our first award today is for Contribution to the Arts, which is being presented to Sunnyvale Community Players. So let's have Board President Steve Shapiro come up to accept the award on their behalf. Thank you. Sunnyvale Community Players have put the spotlight on the many talented people in our community. And in every show, they shine. Members of the community play all the roles in the company, whether it's on stage, whether it's backstage, in the orchestra pit, or on the board. Together, this all-volunteer company stages 4 large-scale musical productions every year. The company's open-door policy welcomes volunteers of all ages from our community. Productions range from Broadway gems like A Chorus Line and Gypsy to edgier shows like Spring Awakenings or Avenue Q, a very adult show with puppets. So audiences love what they're seeing. In 2019, the Sunnyvale Community Players will celebrate their 50th anniversary. Yeah, thank you. In fact, a production of the musical Grease that's opening later tonight will launch the Sunnyvale Community Players' golden anniversary season. I attended last night's final rehearsal, and I urge everyone to definitely go see the show. It's a fantastic show. The coming season offers a lineup of classic musicals that includes Cabaret and The Wiz, and their February 2019 show, Bye Bye Birdie, represents a signature event of every season, the junior production, starring actors of ages 8 to 18. So definitely take a look at that one. Sunnyvale Community Players have always emphasized the importance of enriching the lives of young people through the performing arts. Many current board members and backstage volunteers either grew up participating in the company themselves or are now parents of the current participants. In addition to their regular season shows, Sunnyvale Community Players present a Summer Spotlight youth production. This year, the company staged a production of a high school musical to great reviews. A special feature of the Summer Spotlight show is the mentorship program that gives teens hand-on experience working with members of the production on key backstage elements like costume design, choreography, and stage management. Company alumni and parents of young performers have said that they love the company's supportive environment where kids can grow creatively and develop long life skills like confidence and an appreciation for teamwork. Sunnyvale Community Players live up to their name in every way, with productions created by and for our community, but they also seek to do good in our community. The company donates each production to an appropriate charity, collecting donations for those charities during the show's run. Their fantastic 2017 show, Fiddler on the Roof, for instance, dedicated their charity to the global Jewish nonprofit that protects refugees. For serving the community through a passion and through performing arts, and for inspiring generations of local youth and giving them a place to grow, I'm pleased to present Sunnyvale Community Players with the award for contributions to the arts. Thank you. And I also have another one to say. Our next award is for Educator of the Year, which is being presented to Alex Ha. Come forward, Alex. Colleagues have compared Alex to the Steph Curry of Lakewood Elementary School. It's a fitting description. Not only is Alex a huge Warriors fan, but also like any MVP, he knows that hard work and determination are the keys to success, and that failure is something to learn from. He helps the students embrace this philosophy and teaches each child to build on his and her strengths. Alex creates a supportive environment throughout the school day, greeting students every morning with a hearty handshake and joining them at play during recess, even on days he doesn't have recess duty. Alex makes the most of his home court advantage. Alex grew up in Lakewood, in the Lakewood neighborhood, and as alumni of Lakewood Elementary, as well as Columbia Middle School and Fremont High, he has deep roots here in the Sunnyvale community. He uses this intrinsic understanding to enrich his curriculum and make it more relevant to his students. In lessons, he integrates technology in ways to further engage his students. He sets high expectations, but also takes the time to learn how to bring out the best in each and every student. As a member of the Lakewood staff, Alex is tireless as a team player. This year, when he taught advanced math after school, he developed a unit on building a 3D city to give his students an exciting challenge. Every year, he teaches summer school and he coaches wrestling. As a coach, he goes out of his way to engage with parents who may be anxious about children participating in their sports. During one summer school lesson, Alex mentored a student teacher who has recently been hired on to Lakewood. As an educator, Alex always heads to the top of the game. Colleagues describe him as a constant learner who takes his responsibilities to heart. His authenticity allows him to connect meaningfully with his students. It comes as no surprise Alex was named as Sunnyvale School District's Teacher of the Year in 2017-2018 school year. For all of his winning ways, empowering and supporting students, going that extra mile as part of the Lakewood Lions pride, I am pleased to present Alex Ha as Educator of the Year. Thank you. Okay, and next up, I would like to invite my fellow council member, Russ Melton, to give the next award. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. This presentation is our next award for High School Student of the Year, which is being presented to Melissa Lee. And Melissa, will you please join me up here? Congratulations. Nice to meet you. Just sit right here. In 2 years, Melissa Lee has made her mark in student leadership, sports, and academia at Fremont High School. Melissa has just started her junior year, so she's only halfway through what's already an impressive tenure at Fremont. As a freshman, she jumped right into campus life when she was elected to serve on Fremont's School Site Council, an advisory forum of teachers, administrators, students, and parents. During her sophomore year, Melissa served as the council's vice chairperson and took over facilitating meetings when the chairperson was out. She also was an active member of the council's student wellness subgroup and helped organize a student panel presentation for the school staff. In fact, Melissa's work as a student leader focuses on advocating for the all-around well-being of her fellow students. She and another student came to the dean's office last year to suggest bringing a freshman orientation program called Link Crew to Fremont. When they learned that staff was already implementing the program, Melissa and the other student agreed to act as club presidents. Melissa has recruited more than 50 students, mentors for the program, and helped lead their training. She's given her own time to developing the program and has impressed school staff with her commitment to the program's steady growth. Link Crew supports over 500 freshmen at Fremont in their transition to the high school environment. Melissa is also an outstanding athlete. And ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. As a sophomore, she became Fremont's first girls wrestling CCS champion. All right. But stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, there's more. A second place finish at the United World Wrestling Cadet World Team Trials earned her a place on Team USA to compete in the Pan American Games in Guatemala City this past spring. And Melissa, right on. Melissa won a silver medal for Team USA. All right. Throughout her 2 years of high school, Melissa has maintained a perfect 4.0 grade point average while taking the most challenging course load and balancing leadership activities in wrestling. For her advocacy on behalf of her fellow students and for her hard work as an athlete and a student, I am pleased to present Melissa Lee with the award for High School Student of the Year. Great job. Right on. Congratulations. Thank you. Do you have them? We'll stand over here. Now, I'm now pleased to present my colleague, Jim Griffith, for the next award. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next award is for Environmental Achievement, which is being presented to Homestead High School's Future Business Leaders of America. Project chairs Abby Shemelashvili and Shelby Jennett will accept the award on behalf of the team. How'd I do? During the 2017-18 school year, the Homestead High School Future Business Leaders of America learned leadership skills while making a difference for the environment through their community service project called Project Revive. After considering several other community service project ideas, the team chose to develop Project Revive because they felt it would make the biggest impact on the community and offered the opportunity for sustainable long-term change. Project Revive focuses on educating the community about plastics pollution and reducing plastic usage. The Future Business Leaders team conducted awareness campaigns for classmates at their school, as well as for local middle schoolers in the community at large. The team hosted 3 free movie screenings of the film Straws, a documentary for a Sea of Change, which highlights how single-use plastics pollute waterways and oceans. They followed each screening with a talk on how to eliminate single-use plastics. To present these events, the team partnered with local businesses Juniper Networks and Sports Basement, who provided access to locations to host the screenings. The business partners also provided funding to purchase reusable bags made from plastic bottles. The bags were handed out to the community at the movie screenings. The Future Business Leaders' work inspired people to make a change. Community members who attended screenings noted that the team had helped them take the next steps in choosing reusable items over single-use plastics. Outreach efforts also included making presentations, writing newspaper articles, and being on hand to provide information at events such as the city's Go Green Fair and Homestead High's Green Week. In all, the team efforts spread the word about preventing plastics pollution to 1,000 community members, 200 middle schoolers, and 2,500 fellow Homestead High students. In addition to a variety of activities to raise awareness, the team held a recycling drive that collected more than 118 pounds of plastics, debris, and e-waste. The team won first place in the Community Service Project category in the State Future Business Leaders of America competition and came in 5th out of 150 teams at the national level. For their dedication to making a difference for the environment and affecting a positive change in the community, it is my privilege to present the Homestead High School Future Business Leaders of America team with the Environmental Achievement Award. And our next award will be handed out by my colleague, Councilmember Nancy Smith.
Thank you, Councilmember Griffith. Our next award is Business of the Year, which is being presented to Terry Lee of the Sunnyvale Martial Arts Academy. So Terry, would you join me at the lectern? Okay. Master Terry Lee has made the Sunnyvale Martial Arts Academy into a model martial arts school and a meaningful presence in our community. Master Lee built the business from a small storefront Taekwondo school into a 10,000 square foot facility with 4 training floors, teaching over 700 students of all ages every week. Last month, the Sunnyvale Martial Arts Academy celebrated its 30th anniversary. The school has trained over 10,000 students in that time. Instructors from around the world visit the academy to see Master Lee's teachings in action. She holds a 7th degree black belt. Yeah, there is some debate here who would take each other. I know it wouldn't be me. The Academy has grown significantly over the years, but what makes it a local institution is the way it has helped many community members grow. Students receive training not only in the martial arts at the Academy, but they also learn to become, as Master Lee says, black belts in life. That means learning to accept challenges by setting goals and giving maximum effort to your goals while maintaining a positive attitude and helping others along the way. Striving for a black belt in life is an important lesson for the many young people who train at the Academy. They learn self-confidence and leadership skills as they perfect their forms and kicks. Academic achievement is also one of the school's core values. Along with the importance of helping others, students give money and supplies to community food banks and lend a hand in the aftermath of local disasters. Many of the students have gone on to successful careers in fields such as science, business, law, education, the military, and some have pursued careers in the martial arts. In fact, Master Lee's own son, Gian, who's here with us today, teaches at the Academy as well. He returned after college to become one of the school's head instructors. The Sunnyvale Martial Arts Academy philosophy offers important lessons to all of its students, young people, and adults alike. One former student returned to the Academy as an adult to earn a black belt 20 years after his initial training. He says that Master Lee and the Martial Arts Academy have had a transformative impact on his life. So for building a business that has reached the lives of many in the community, and for inspiring students both on the mat and in day-to-day life, I am pleased to present Terry Lee and the Sunnyvale Martial Arts Academy with the award for Business of the Year. And next, I would like to invite my colleague, Councilmember Larson, to come up and present the next award.
Thank you, Councilmember Smith. So our next award is for Distinguished Resident, which is being presented to Tara Martin Milius. Tara, would you join me at the lectern? So, when you arrived here today, you may have noticed several new murals that are hanging on the walls in this area. And one of them, which is over here behind the booths, maybe a little hard to see right now, but go over there later. It features the word Sunnyvale, but with the letter Y missing. The mural was designed so people could pose, pose in front of the sign and become the letter Y in Sunnyvale. Thank you. And when I think about that mural, it strikes me that the Y is really a bit of a metaphor when it comes to Tara, in that she never forgets the why of Sunnyvale, the word why, W-H-Y. And the why, that's the people of Sunnyvale, our community, why we do what we do. As a Sunnyvale resident for more than 30 years, she has served as a leader in diverse elements in our community, including politics, business, the environment, and culture. Growing up in a military family, Tara says that public service was always just what you do. It's an important duty to give back to the community that in turn supports you. Her very long list of activities speaks volumes about how well she has lived that philosophy. She currently serves on the boards, plural, the boards of the Sunnyvale Historical Society and Museum Association, and the Democratic Club of Sunnyvale, and Livable Sunnyvale, which is a sustainability-focused coalition. She's also a trustee for the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Sunnyvale and a member of Sunnyvale Rotary. She volunteers at Sunnyvale Community Services, and she has served as co-chair of the San Miguel Neighbors Association for 18 years. And just last year, Tara became the executive director of Leadership Sunnyvale, a nonprofit that empowers individuals through training in leadership and community awareness. And, as it happens, the group that created the murals that I spoke about earlier. Tara is, oh, yes. She's acknowledging. Yes, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for helping with the murals. Tara is a former Sunnyvale City Council member and also vice mayor, and she's a former arts commissioner for the city. She never considered serving her community through politics until, during her term on the Sunnyvale Arts Commission, and with some gentle prodding from her friends, she was inspired to run for city council. Whether it's acknowledging her friends' encouragement or speaking highly of colleagues' contributions, Tara is quick to make sure everyone's contributions are recognized. It speaks to how she prizes collaboration, and Tara is all about collaboration. For example, it was especially thrilling for Tara to help Sunnyvale take the lead on a regional collaboration that formed a community choice energy program while she was serving on city council. And now, today, Silicon Valley Clean Energy is providing carbon-free energy to residents and businesses in 13 Santa Clara County communities. As a champion for living more sustainably, Tara has given her time to many environmentally focused projects. She currently serves as vice chair of the Customer Program Advisory Group for Silicon Valley Clean Energy. This group identifies the programs that will help customers make the most of Silicon Valley clean energy. She's also a member of the Santa Clara Valley Water District's Environmental Resource Committee, which assists the board of directors with policies regarding water supply, flood protection, and environmental stewardship. And in addition to volunteering in these many, many realms, Tara founded her own training and coaching firm, and over many years has taught organization development and facilitation at UCSC Extension. Tara emphasizes the importance of relationships, collaboration, and community engagement in all of her work. As Executive Director of Leadership Sunnyvale, she says that she strives to create a more informed electorate and promote civic discourse, and for that, we thank you tremendously. Leadership Sunnyvale graduates say she has inspired them by leading with honesty, kindness, and critical thought, and that sounds exactly like the Tara that I know. So for someone who makes sure everyone else's contributions are acknowledged and honored, it is only fitting that we now have an opportunity to celebrate Tara. Therefore, for serving her community in many different aspects of civic life and working to improve the lives of her fellow citizens, I am pleased to present our former Vice Mayor, Tara Martin-Milius, as our distinguished resident. Thank you. And now I'd like to ask our Mayor, Glenn Hendricks, to present the Mayor's Award of Excellence.
Hello again. It is a Sunnyvale tradition for the mayor to select a recipient for the Mayor's Award of Excellence and announce it at the State of the City. So it is my honor to be here with you and share that this year's recipient is Home First Feeding Partners. This is a team, you can clap for them now. This is a team of local groups and individuals who bring meals to homeless clients staying at the North County Shelter in Sunnyvale, operated by Home First Services. And I'm delighted that Andrea Erton, CEO of Home First, Stephanie DeMos, Chief Development and Communication Officer for Home First, Michelle Covert of the Santa Clara County Office of Supportive Housing, and Kelsey Fleming, Site Manager of the North County Shelter, are here to accept the award on behalf of these many wonderful volunteers. Could you guys come up here and join me? The North County Shelter is a Santa Clara County facility that houses 140 people daily. The First Home Feeding Partners is an informal name that describes a wide-ranging team of groups and individuals, a number of whom have volunteered with the North County Shelter for 2 or 3 decades. The shelter has always had strong community involvement. And until recently, the North County Shelter, previously known as the Cold Weather Shelter, operated November through March. This spring, when the shelter expanded to year-round operation, its already hardworking team of volunteers doubled their efforts in providing meals, and they recruited even more helping hands. This team has continued to serve meals regularly, just as when the shelter was open for only 6 months of the year. And as Michelle says, There's been an overwhelming response from these volunteers. A lot of people really stepped up to the plate. Let me just give you a glimpse of what a lot means. In the period between April 2018, when the shelter began operating year-round to present, 37 distinct groups and 19 individuals have volunteered, serving 42,280 meals. And in case you're wondering, that's almost 700 hours of volunteer work. Yeah, give them a big round of applause. This is good stuff. It adds up to many caring people giving time and resources to ensure that their fellow community members in need don't lack for food and everyday necessities. Volunteers bring food they've purchased and cooked from home themselves. Some cater meals, serve food from Home First San Jose location, or deliver food from various local restaurants, caterers, and tech companies. And in addition to providing meals, many volunteers also bring donations of clothing and toiletries for clients. This team of volunteers has even begun to develop an online calendaring system to help ensure that meals are always covered. It's clear that volunteers put their hearts into creating and serving meals, and it shows. Kelsey says that clients have told her that the shelter is known for its good food, along with many other things. That personal touch goes beyond meals. Kelsey notes that some volunteers have worked with the shelter so long they've gotten to know the clients. To brighten the client's day, that brightens the client's days to see these volunteers coming in. Many volunteers will often lend a hand to clients who need help with homework or filling out an application. And I'd like to recognize some of the core groups and individuals of the Home First Feeding Partners for contributing so much to the North County shelter. As Kelsey says, we couldn't do it without them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to list a whole bunch of groups' names. And when I name them, would you please stand up? And if the audience could hold your applause till the end. The Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Sunnyvale. The Church of Resurrection, Sunnyvale. Sunnyvale Rotary Club. No, stand up and stay standing up. What did I end with? Sunnyvale Rotary Club. Sunnyvale Elks Lodge 2128. The Snail Neighborhood Association. The Sri Sutha Sai Baba of Central San Jose. The Community Seva. The Peninsula Food Runners. St. Martin's Church. The Caring Hands Foundation. Much Hope. Sarah Wasserman. Linda Garcia and family. Marie Bernard. Donna Barris. Rose Gregorio. Marge Vincent and Susan Rittner. And Jerry Steach. Let's give them all a big round of applause. And I just want to go ahead and say, these people do this work not because they want to try and get any accolades. As a matter of fact, most of the time you'll find them in the shadows, out of the way. They do it because they just want to help their fellow community members, and it's a really fantastic thing that you guys do. Yeah, big round again. This is good stuff. Okay, if I could have you seated. For their hard work in supporting the North County shelter and for always reaching out in compassion to fellow community members in need, I am pleased to present the 2018 Mayor's Award of Excellence to the Home First Feeding Partners, and accepting on behalf is Andrea Urton, Stephanie DeMose, Michelle Covert, and Kelsey Fleming. Let's get a picture. Thank you very much. You know, I should have gone ahead and noted along the way, we've given kind of a crystal award from the city, but this blue document you see, that's a proclamation from Assembly Member Mark Berman's office in Sacramento. So that's what the other piece of paper that everybody's been getting today. So I want to thank you very much, the Home First Feeding Partners, and congratulations again to all of our Community Award winners. Let's give everybody a big round of applause again. So this concludes the recognition portion of today's program. And before I give my closing comments, I just want to give a big thank you to Cynthia Pahorkas, right there. She's the Director of Library and Community Services, and her fantastic team, as well as the rest of the city staff that have helped put together this wonderful event. We wouldn't have been able to have this without all of their hard work and dedication. You can tell who they are. It's the people that are walking around with the blue shirts. So again, when you're out here, tell them thank you for the great job that they've done. I hope you're all going to stay and enjoy all the many activities and events that are going on the rest of the day. There is truly something for everyone. We'll have magic, circus, and a dance show here on the stage. The Family Fun Zone has face painting, henna art, inflatables, and much more. And new this year is an interactive chalk art zone, so be sure to explore that. There are also 2 zones of information booths where you can learn about a variety of community services and organizations, as well as some of the city's projects and programs. So on behalf of my colleagues here on the council, I just want to say thank you again for coming out. Thank you for participating in Sunnyvale, and just thank you for being good Sunnyvale residents. Thank you very much.